hot cuppa and relax. It's Afternoon Karak with Aisha Al-Mazmi and Mikhail Atiyah
on Pulse 95.
Guys, the thing that I said was going to happen has happened. If you guys were tuning into the Afternoon Karak over the past couple of weeks and months, you actually would have known that Mikhail has been a very strong advocate for changing our passwords and updating them and making sure that they're okay and making sure that they are free from, getting hacked into them, because a lot of people, myself included, might have repetitive passwords, and if somebody figures out one password, there's a good chance they might figure out at least 20 of them. So a couple of weeks ago, way after Mikhail has warned that, I recall that basically what happened is that I was out with my friend, and then out of nowhere, I get a notification on my phone that, here is your new password, so you want to reset it, from Microsoft. And I was like, is that a scam email? Because it looks kind of scammy. So I look up the address, and oh no, it was not a scam email. It was actually from Microsoft. A minute later, I get a text message from Microsoft as well, because I have linked my phone number to the email as well. And that's when I realized, I was like, it has begun. It has begun. People are trying to hack into my email, and that email is super important. It's the one that I use for a lot of things. So I freaked out, went back home, and quickly reset my password and changed it. And when I went through the various activities, apparently you can actually check the latest activity, like sign-ins and sign-outs, etc. And it showed that there were some very suspicious locations that were attempting to sign into my email, including some places in China, and I believe in Nigeria, and I think there was somewhere in Europe. And I was like, this is scary. And then the actual scary thing kind of happened, or at least it was about to happen on Saturday. I forgot to mention it yesterday, and that is somebody tried to hack into my Apple ID. And obviously, if that happened, that would have been as big, or if not a bigger catastrophe than if somebody had tried to hack into my email. Because as everybody knows, if you have an iPhone, if you have lots of Mac and Apple products, I have my laptop, I have actually my old laptops as well. They're also connected to this Apple ID, so it would have been a whole disaster if somebody managed to hack into it. I have some important things in my iCloud besides passwords on my phone, etc., but also some things like some files. I use it just like people use Dropbox and whatnot. I have so many folders because I need to share them across my devices. So it would have been a whole problem. And the funny thing is, when I got the notification that tells me, hey, somebody's asking to be authorized to basically use this email or this Apple ID in this location, because I'm so used to resetting my phone or signing in and signing out, that I get this pop-up often that my automatic response was going to say accept. So it took me a second, and I think that is exactly how they catch people, because I was thinking that with the amount of lots of, the procedures and the walls that every single, email provider or basically all these accounts and websites use to stop people from getting hacked, I thought it would be very, it would be very strange for somebody to successfully hack into anybody's email unless their password is so simple, like, I don't know, green is my favorite color, and their email is called green is my favorite color as well, or it's basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But besides that, I always thought, how on earth do people get hacked? And I think it's this accidental slips where you're about to touch something. Like I said, I was about to press on accept simply because I'm so used to pressing on accept every single time. But we are saved. We are okay. They didn't manage to hack into my Apple ID. I changed my password, and we are safe again and happy. And hope you guys are also as happy and as excited as I am as we delve into the Afternoon Karak. Welcome to the show. This is Aisha Al-Mazmi, running solo for a little bit more before Mikhail is back. Again, to keep up with our traditions, we have a celebration today, and we're going to be talking about the Emmy Awards 2021, the winners and the losses, and perhaps the ones that got away. We also have a rumor that Rey from Star Wars, from the latest Star Wars trilogy, may be returning in the future in a Disney Plus Star Wars show, which is very interesting, taking into consideration the way the the movie ended, and the way that Disney Plus has been, well, kind of advertising the upcoming Star Wars series and the movies that are coming into that universe. I was going to be talking about a chess star that is suing Netflix because Queen's Gambit erased her accolades. Is it valid? Is it not? We're going to be talking about that and so much more. Make sure you're staying tuned and staying locked to Pulse 95 from 4 p.m. till 5 p.m. Keep me company as I keep you guys company. 4215 Ittisalat or do.
What's the date?
What's the date?
What's the date?
What are we celebrating today?
There is no doubt that it's very easy to love pizza. In fact, I believe that a lot of people love pizza in comparison to other foods. It is one of those universal foods that it's very hard to find anybody that dislikes it. Similar to pasta, similar to burgers, similar to fries. So they're just sort of, even though they originate from a specific place and a specific culture, you can easily see that they're quite universal. But today we're going to be talking about a specific type of pizza, and you guys might have guessed it, and that happens to be pepperoni pizza, because today happens to be pepperoni pizza day. I love September so much. It has so many random types of celebrations. We had so many so far, and we've got a couple more to go this week as well. So cannot wait to talk about every single one of them. But let's go back to the pepperoni pizza. It is one of my favorite. It is a standard. Everybody who ever orders any sort of pizza, they'd always go for maybe a margarita or a cheese pizza, a vegetable or vegetarian option, and then eventually pepperoni pizza. It is a staple in every sort of gathering, pizza gathering or pizza dinner or whatnot. And even if you go to any Italian restaurant, you're always going to find a person or two who are always going to be ordering the pepperoni pizza, myself included. Pepperoni is amazing, and although I might tend to gravitate towards maybe something with a lot more meat options, but I also like the pepperoni pizza itself. It is a classic. It is a fan favorite for a lot of people. And what I like as well about the pepperoni pizza is that I like to kind of heighten it up. Let's add some extra toppings to it. And I know you guys are probably thinking that, Aisha, that is not the essence of a pepperoni pizza. I mean, if it has pepperoni, then it is a pepperoni pizza. Am I correct? I mean, there's no flaw in that logic, is there? So if I have a pepperoni pizza, I tend to love maybe adding a little bit of chili to it to add some, layer of spiciness and whatnot. And maybe some mushrooms, just different textures to it, some green peppers or some onions. I don't like to overcrowd it too much, because then maybe that is where we cross the line away from, what is considered a pepperoni pizza, where you're like, this is not a pepperoni pizza anymore. What are you talking about? What are you making me eat now? So I understand if you are a little bit, I'd say, picky about your pepperoni pizza and maybe a little bit too rigid about what is considered as pepperoni pizza. But like I said, it is a fan favorite and a lot of people love it and enjoy it as well. Text me 4215 Ittisalat or do tell me all about it. Do you love pepperoni pizza? Is it your favorite, or do you like adding up or just adding a little bit extra things here and there just like me? But I have to say that I've seen people mix pepperoni with pineapples, which is, just reminiscent of a Hawaiian pizza. And to that I say that is not a Hawaiian pizza at all. That is a very weird version or a mix-up of both a pepperoni pizza and a Hawaiian pizza, because that is not how it's supposed to be, right? Right. So guys, tell me, share with me your favorite pizza toppings, your favorite pizza types. I know that this is not about pizzas in general, but we can all celebrate pizzas, the beautiful, beautiful dish from Italy. And apparently there are, there's speculations about where the first pepperoni first appeared or when it was first introduced. There is some belief that it was actually all the way back in 1889. However, there were claims that it was sold all the way back in 1738, which I believe is, something viable. I believe that. I can easily believe that they've had pepperoni pizzas for as long as 1738, because the thing about Italian dishes, even the things that feel very modern to us, have been, basically are ingrained in Italian culture. So it is not something that possibly, maybe it is something that is quite new, but more often than not, especially knowing that Italians pride themselves with tradition, there's a good chance that this is something that has been created a very long time ago by somebody who just had a spark, an idea to go and do that, put some things together and was like, yeah, this actually works out. And good for them, because 100, 200 years later, it is a lot of people's favorite. So happy Pepperoni Pizza Day. Cannot wait to talk to you guys about more celebrations throughout the week. And speaking about a big celebration, we had the Emmy 2021 celebration yesterday or last night. Cannot wait to talk about the nominees, the winners, and the ones that got away. Text me 4215 for Salat, or do tell me what do you think, what do you feel, who was your best dressed, least favorite dress, who are the misses, the hits. Tell me all about it. We're going to be talking about it in a little bit right here on the Afternoon Karak.
Make a hot cuppa and relax. It's Afternoon Karak with Aisha Al-Mazmi and Mikhail Atiyah
on Pulse 95.
The Crown was one of the biggest winners last night at the 2021 Emmy Awards. And was it a surprise? Not really. Am I a little bit disappointed? Just a tiny bit. But I'm okay. I've been reconciled because I found out that Ted Lasso and The Queen's Gambit are among the biggest winners as well. And if you guys have been tuning into the Afternoon Karak, you know that I'm a massive fan of Ted Lasso. I've been telling basically everyone and their mothers to go and watch that show. Let's kick it off with Outstanding Drama Series, The Crown. Outstanding Limited Series, The Queen's Gambit, which I feel has been quite underrated and slightly, and I'm saying underrated simply because I know that everybody watched it, I know that everybody enjoyed it, and I haven't heard that anybody actually disliked that show. But I'm saying underrated because when it comes to all of these big awards shows, barely any wins. Barely any wins across the board for The Queen's Gambit, and it only took the Emmys for them to finally recognize this amazing show. For Outstanding Comedy Series, it's none other than Ted Lasso, basically kicking away a lot of well-known shows, including Blackish and Emily in Paris. And honestly, I'm not trying to talk down about these shows, but they didn't stand a chance. Ted Lasso was amazing. And of course, Josh O'Connor went in The Crown, Olivia Colman, The Crown, Tobias Menzies, The Crown as well, and Gillian Anderson for The Crown and Drama Series, supporting actor and actresses, etc. Lead actor in a limited series or movie, Ewan McGregor in Halston. It is another show that I've been kind of saving for later because I feel it might be a little bit serious and I'm looking for some comedy and something light. So I've been just watching some random Netflix shows and keeping up with some of them across the past couple of days. Another winner that is simultaneously it was bittersweet simply because in this category there were several actresses that definitely deserved it. So it was very hard for me to basically bash Kate Winslet for winning the lead actress in a limited series or movie for Mayor of Easttown, because along with her we've got Michaela Cole for I May Destroy You, Elizabeth Olsen for WandaVision, Anya Taylor-Joy for The Queen's Gambit, and Cynthia Erivo for Genius Aretha. And I really wanted Anya to win. It felt like it was, the definite answer. She's definitely gonna win, but then Kate Winslet came and swept the award, and probably rightfully so. Kate Winslet is an amazing actress. Same goes for Evan Peters, who won for Mayor of Easttown and supporting actor in a limited series or movie. Also kicking out some of the actors and actresses in The Queen's Gambit, Hamilton, and I May Destroy You. And what is interesting that David Diggs, Jonathan Groff, and Anthony Ramos were all nominated for Hamilton in this category. Mayor of Easttown also wins in supporting actress in a limited series or movie with Julianne Nicholson. In lead actor in a comedy series, you guys know what it is. It's obviously Jason Sudeikis in Ted Lasso. We see more of Ted Lasso with Brett Goldstein, who definitely deserves it as he plays Roy, one of my favorite characters, just outright one of my favorite characters ever lately. He plays that character just perfectly and beautifully. He also basically sweeps the award from Nick Muhammad, Brendan Hunt, Jeremy Swift, who are also from Ted Lasso. As for supporting actress, I had two of my favorites from Ted Lasso going head-to-head, and that is Juno Temple and Hannah Waddingham. And Hannah Waddingham was the winner of supporting actress in a comedy series. And then we've got Hamilton winning Outstanding Variety Special pre-recorded, which a lot of peoples and fans were kind of upset about because they wanted Bo Burnham inside to win. And I understand that Hamilton's win might be, a bit of a stab, because Bo Burnham's inside just took everybody by surprise. It has been a fan favorite across various social media platforms, and it's just fun to watch, and it tackles something very serious in a very interesting and quirky way. So I absolutely get that why people have been upset. The Crown wins writing for a drama series, and finally Michaela Cole wins writing for a limited series, movie or drama for I May Destroy You, another underrated gem that everybody should be checking out. The Crown takes one more award for directing for a drama series, and directing for a limited series goes to The Queen's Gambit. WandaVision was basically obviously nominated in several categories, but it did not win. But the fact that it was nominated was big enough. Same goes for The Mandalorian, and The Handmaid's Tale, and Bridgerton. It is nice to see some new names and well-deserved names get exactly what they deserve. And to the ones who lost, maybe next year would be a better year for you, and maybe next year can carry another bunch of new TV shows and interesting movies that will basically blow our minds out. Cannot wait for the upcoming award season in the upcoming year. I'm going to be taking a short break, and coming up next, we're going to be talking about all kinds of things, such as Rey from Star Wars returning to the universe, possibly in a future Disney Plus Star Wars show, and a chess star suing Netflix because Queen's Gambit erased her accolades. Coming up next, right here on the Afternoon Karak.
Speculation, gossip, or hoax. Rumor has it.
I come carrying some very interesting news, a very interesting rumor that claims that Daisy Ridley is in negotiations to basically reprise her role as Rey Skywalker. Yes, Rey Skywalker, because she did change her name at the very end of basically the last moment of the last movie in the latest Star Wars trilogy. And these rumors are not new. There were some reports that she has entered negotiations to reprise her role in a Star Wars project, and the rumor mill was saying that that was going to be The Mandalorian, which would have never made sense because The Mandalorian is set 2 decades before basically the sequel trilogy, so she wouldn't even be born yet at the very least, or if she was, she would be a baby or a toddler, so it made no sense. But those rumors have resurfaced, and the gossip is saying that she is actually going to be reprising her role, and that both Disney and Lucasfilms are trying to find a way where she could fit into this new timeline. And I believe that the possibilities are endless, and it's very interesting that they're taking this stance because up until now, all we've seen when it comes to the Star Wars universe TV shows that are on Disney Plus and the ones that preceded them, such as the animated shows, all we know is that they're usually set way before the sequel trilogy. They are even way before, or maybe around the time where the prequel happened, or maybe before the prequel, or a little bit after the prequel trilogy. So it does not make sense where are they going to fit all those new characters in the prequels, and perhaps it just shows that they're now thinking of ways to kind of expand the universe right now, as in they're going to the present now, going back to the present and trying to figure out how to expand the universe from that point of view. I mean, it was expected, but I don't think it was expected to happen in any of the shows, because all we've been seeing that is that the progression of the story has only happened within the movies. Now, there have been rumors, or at least announcements, that we are going to be expecting several TV shows and movies within the Star Wars universe. If you guys remember from last year when Disney basically announced, I believe last year or earlier this year, they announced 10 new Star Wars projects, and a good chunk of them basically appear to be set in the past. So again, the question returns as to where can they fit Rey and why are they fitting her into a series over basically the next trilogy. And I understand perhaps maybe they want to delve deeper into her story, or basically try to look into new people and new characters that can carry on the trilogy in the upcoming years. I get it, because every single trilogy had a superhero, or was basically a hero that was not the same one that preceded them in the previous trilogy. So it all goes back to the future plans from Lucasfilm and Disney, and I think it's quite interesting that they're trying to find a way to fit Rey. It just shows that they probably were not really thinking that far into the future when they basically wrapped up the past trilogy, which is quite interesting. It's not something that you usually expect, to be honest, especially for thinking about a universe that is self-contained and basically has the potential to go anywhere and is quite expansive at the same time. And basically what we're seeing is that there isn't much of a foresight in the same way that Kevin Feige has within Marvel Studios, as in they go ahead and plan years and years and years in advance into the progression of the entire story and the universe. So it is a little bit concerning, but it is expected. I mean, we cannot all expect everybody to be like Kevin Feige and just planning way, way ahead. And if you guys remember, the issue with Lucasfilm, the issue with the Star Wars series or the universe is that they don't have somebody like Kevin Feige to make sure that the timeline is, strict and goes very smoothly, and that they are as minimal as possible when it comes to all kinds of issues and continuity errors, because that has happened so many times. And the issue with Star Wars or the Star Wars universe is that usually for you to understand so many elements within the actual trilogy movies, you need to go and read the accompanying books, sometimes some guides, or watch the various series to understand the world, unlike some other universes such as the Marvel universe. I mean, I know probably you guys are telling me I should stop comparing things, but it's necessary. When we're talking about universes, the most successful one is the one created by Kevin Feige for Marvel. We still negatively criticize the one created by Warner Brothers for DCEU for similar reasons as we are criticizing the Star Wars universe, as in we don't really have one proper projected vision when it comes to the future of the series, but they try their best. At least in Star Wars, they try a lot more than in the DCEU, and I'm not trying to bash it, it's just the unfortunate truth, because we are fans of all those universes, we are big fans of all these fandoms, and we wish them well, and we cannot wait to see what happens and see what can happen after the Rise of Skywalker, as we see the story of Rey continued beyond that movie, especially since Star Wars Visions is coming out. But is that canon? Is it not? We're not sure. But coming up next, we're going to be talking about the Queen's Gambit and some controversy coming up next right here on the Afternoon Karak.
Make a hot cuppa and relax. It's Afternoon Karak with Aisha Al-Mazmi and Mikhail Atiyah
On Pulse 95.
So this isn't something that is surprising. That is something that has happened many, many times across different shows and movies and video games and whatnot, especially the ones that might be fictional, but sometimes are centered around reality or take a lot of inspiration from reality, because when that happens, people are going to make mistakes, and perhaps those mistakes, it may cost a lot of money, especially in this case, because Nona, and I hope I say her name correctly, it is Nona Gaprindashvili, I think, but she is a female Soviet chess legend, and she is suing Netflix for $5 million after a scene in the show Queen's Gambit that falsely claimed she had never played against men, where in fact she claims to have played and beaten dozens of men. And she says that this sort of dialogue is grossly inappropriate and basically bashes her accolades and the things that she has achieved over the year. And the lawsuit was filed in an LA district court on the 16th of September, and is focused mostly on that one scene in the Queen's Gambit. And to some people, they may believe that this is quite irrational or crazy, or what is she doing? Is she probably, trying to get some money or trying to put her name up there and make herself get her 1 minute or 15 minutes of fame, basically. But I don't think she really cares about that. I mean, for her, right, she is a chess master and she is basically well known within her circles, and perhaps she doesn't really care about being well known beyond that, and that is absolutely valid. And it's just that when you do reference a real life person, it only makes sense that you have the correct titles, you give them the correct, due diligence, and make sure that everything that when you're referring to them is actually the truth. Because if you do not say the truth, you're going to be in danger of getting basically a lawsuit similar to this one. And also, it's just in general, it does not sound very appropriate when you go ahead and be like, yeah, I'm gonna mess around with somebody's history just because I wanted to fit my narrative, even if it is set in a somewhat fictional / realistic setting. Regardless of that, it doesn't mean that you're allowed to go around and claim or make some claims that are not true. So it only makes sense that she also wants that people give her exactly what she deserves and basically remove the claims that she had never played against a man, especially since the central, I'd say, theme of the Queen's Gambit is that Elizabeth Harmon, played by Anya Taylor-Joy, is that she kind of, she is basically breaking stereotypes, and she plays against everybody, and she's a chess grandmaster across both the females and the males, and rightfully so. A lot of people wish to be great in whatever they're doing or their craft across all the boards, and I feel like it's just unfair that we would diminish somebody who actually does that, somebody who is a real life Elizabeth Harmon, just because we wanted to fit our narrative, just to make a fictional character, uplift a fictional character on behalf of somebody who is a real life person. It is unfair and it's completely wrong and it shouldn't be done. So it only makes sense that she would say something, and $5 million honestly is nothing for Netflix. And if they can settle it outside, that would work, or maybe they can reshoot. I'm not sure if they're capable of doing that and fixing it. It might be too much, might be too problematic, but at least they can do something about it, that they can basically give her, acknowledge her true life, give her credit for what she has done, give her those accolades that she has proudly achieved over the years as a actual chess player. So good luck to her, and I hope that she does get exactly what she deserves, because basically this entire show introduced a whole lot of people into a world they were not basically aware of or did not acknowledge. So it only makes sense that if you're going to teach us about this entire world of chess, whether it's the way you play chess, the various moves and the various characters, it only makes sense that we introduce to them properly, so that people who are interested can go ahead and have those proper tips, and they understand the proper history behind this very amazing and interesting game. So again, good luck to Nana, and hopefully she can get her $5 million or somehow settle it in an appropriate manner that fits her. And with that, we wrap up the afternoon karak. Thank you for keeping me company. Hope you guys were enjoying this fun-filled hour. As usual, if you missed out on any of my conversations, make sure you check out our podcast, The Afternoon Karak. Just search it up wherever you listen to podcasts, and that could be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Rami, SoundCloud. Once again, search up Afternoon Karak, and you will find the episodes over there. If you want to see us, their lovely faces, our shows do stream on YouTube, so check us out over there. Search up Pulse 95 Radio. Once again, Pulse 95 Radio. Subscribe, like, and comment. We'd love to hear from you. I'm going to be back tomorrow, same time, same vibes, from 4 p.m. till 5 p.m. But I am going to be leaving the desk for the amazing duo that are Big Hass and Anna Schofield, bringing you some fun, some much long-awaited fun, continuing the same cool vibes as the afternoon karak on Yalla Home, keeping you company accompany you from 5 p.m. till 8 p.m. only here on Pulse 95.
If you liked this episode of Afternoon Karak, drop a like and subscribe.
Pulse 95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.